Jacob Jackson was just like any other young adult. He joined the union, he was a first-year apprentice, and he found his passion installing ceilings.
I'm a ceiling guy, so I just do all kinds of different really cool ceilings. I work for OK Interiors.
I've known Jacob for about 10 years. We worked together actually at a landscaping company, and pretty much just hit it off from that and became really good friends through that. Actually, Jacob is who got me into the union. If it wasn't for him, I would have never known about the program here, or even the career opportunities within the union.
Jacob, he's really one of the students that almost go missed, because he's here on time. He's always active in the class. He's always participating and helping others. He had a sense of humor. Has a sense of humor that is catching, if you will. He's one of those guys that you just, I don't think you could make him mad. And if you did, he would find a way to turn it around into a positive. In any class that we've had him in here.
The 28-year-old kissed his wife and kids and left for work just like any other day. Little did he know that day 3 years ago would change his life forever.
3 years ago, I started to get severe allergies, and I just did not feel good. This went on for months, and I just couldn't understand why my allergies were so bad. And I was at work one day, and we were working right across from the emergency room. And I decided I was just going to run over there and see if maybe they'd give me some kind of special allergy medication. And they did some probing and started looking into some things, and we did some x-rays, and then we found out that I didn't have allergies, that I had cancer, which kind of sucked. And it was lung cancer, non-small cell, and I just did everything I could. I kept working and started going to the doctors, and my company I worked for was real good with me, and they kept me real close to the hospital so I could make sure I could still work, make all my appointments, and wouldn't fall behind. And I beat it in 2019.
After a few years of successful treatments of his lung cancer, Jacob was hit with another blow. The cancer had returned, and this time it came back extremely aggressive.
He went to all sorts of hospitals, and he can tell you that they just basically said you have about 6 months or less to live, and there's nothing we can do for you.
The cancer had taken his time, his health, his career opportunities, but it couldn't take away Jacob's spirit.
I have a wife, her name is Jessica. She's 8 months older than me. She never lets me forget it. And I have 2 children. I have a daughter, her name is Violet. She is 9 years old, and I have a son, his name is Harvey, and he is 5 years old, a little cowboy. I want to be old for one, and I just love my kids so much, and I haven't got to do anything yet with them. They're still young. There's so much I have to do, and I just haven't got a chance yet. So there was no way I was going to die. You know what I mean? That's not for me.
Refusing to give up, Jacob measured his options. After countless visits with different doctors, he found an experimental clinical trial he was accepted into at the MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas.
It was horrible. Just horrible. But you have to get through it, you know what I mean? I just missed him so much. And that was the hardest part, because I had to take a risk, because the doctors told me I only had months to live. So I had to make a decision, go to Texas and try to find the Holy Grail, or I don't know. It was hard because I had to give up what months I could have possibly with my family to find a cure.
He actually went through his own wardrobe, so he didn't expect to live. So his wife wouldn't have to throw his clothes out and go through all that. This guy left his family. It bothers me, hearing a story. To tell your wife and kids bye. How do you do that?
Jacob had to tell his friends and family goodbye, traveling 1,000 miles away in search of the chance for a future.
Right before I left for Texas, I was hanging out on my farm with a couple boys, and they had asked me if I had a bucket list. And I told them, I said, no, I don't have a bucket list, and I'm only 29, so I don't know why I would have one yet. And when I was just really sitting there thinking about, if I could ever do anything, what would I want to do? And I realized I'd never seen the ocean. And I went in the house to get something to eat. When I came out, they had already had the van running. And my 3 buddies put me in the van, and we drove all the way to South Carolina, which was a long drive I was not prepared for. And we stayed at the ocean. They took me deep sea fishing. I caught a shark, and it was a real little shark, but it was a shark. And it was an awesome time, you know what I mean? It was just awesome.
Leaving his family behind wasn't an easy decision, and it came with its own set of difficulties for everyone back at home.
It was really tough. There was a point in time where I was mourning losing a friend. And one of the really tough things about that was I couldn't even go see him. He was dying. I mean, that was the consensus from the doctors. And that was a really tough time for not only him, but everyone that's close to him. Because Jacob's always been a really positive person to everyone he's ever around. So it was tough. His family did have a lot of support from friends. You know, my mother actually was one of the people who made sure she sent him anything they needed. His wife actually, it was really tough on her. She had to pick up a full-time job. She was doing everything on her own. And again, all of this during the pandemic. So kind of limited on interaction, face to face. So everyone rallied around her the best they could, for sure.
In Texas, Jacob underwent surgeries removing part of his lung among ongoing treatment. He found comfort in his union brothers and sisters back home during this difficult time.
And the entire time, even when I was in Texas, there was not a day that went by that one of my guys I worked with did not reach out to me. How are you doing? You got everything? Are you taken care of? I mean, just like Gold Star Chili is a super big thing in Cincinnati, And some of my buddies even sent me a whole case of Gold Star Chili in Texas because I couldn't get it down there. And I know I work with these guys, but sometimes I see these guys more than I see my own family. And that's what they become for me, you know what I mean? My union brothers are my family a lot of times, and that's important for me. I mean, we're all in this together. I don't know, we're like a family, and it's just they took care of me, so I can never say thank you enough for that.
Union brotherhood doesn't stop at the state line. During treatment, Jacob met fellow union carpenters working at his hospital.
Yeah, there were some really cool carpenters down from Houston. They were working at the hospital I was in, and I don't know, I see carpenters and kind of drawn to them a little bit, you know what I mean? And I went and talked to them and got to know them a little bit, and they were really cool dudes, because even though they're from Texas and I'm from Ohio, we're still a brotherhood. So it was like having a few friends I didn't have, you know what I mean? I didn't tell him at first because the first guy that was working, I went up and I was just joking with him. I told him he was doing it wrong, and then he was just like, "Who the hell are you?" You know what I mean? Who is this dude? And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm from local 2 in Cincinnati. I'm just giving you a hard time." And it was really cool. Yeah, it was nice to have a friend when I had none. You know what I mean? So even though we didn't know each other, I still had a brother down there. So that was awesome.
Soon, Jacob found himself dealing with a new obstacle. After surgery, he was recovering in an assisted living facility. Due to forces out of his control, the prices spiked beyond what he could afford.
I had made a deal with the place that I was living at that I would receive care for $33 a day, and we had figured out how to pay for that while I was in Texas because I still had all my bills here, and I had a family to raise. And unfortunately, while I was down there was a hurricane. When the hurricane came, it raised the prices from $33 to a little over $250 a day, there's no way I was going to be able to make that meet or work. I mean, I could have, but I would have had to go in severe debt just to sleep in a bed. So I had actually got a little bit of money, and I went down to Target and I bought a hammock, and I lived in trees outside of Houston. I lived in Sam Houston National Forest, which is a very beautiful national forest, and it's all free camping there. There's like 900,000 square acres or something, and at first it was a little weird because there's wild boars and all kinds of animals and stuff out there that I have no, it was terrifying, at first, because I'd never seen wild boars just running under my hammock, and I went and bought a big machete. I don't know what I was going to do with it, and I don't know what I was going to do with that, but I decided that was going to be my defense against the dark arts, but I got used to it, and even then, even sleeping outside kind of sucked for a couple months, because I was real sick, but even then, like every day I would just think like I'm sleeping under the best pine trees I've ever seen. The air is agreeable. I'm just having a good time. I actually got to see all kinds of weird animals. I got to see flying squirrels for the first time, which I'd never seen before. And it really wasn't a bad time. And I'm kind of glad that it happened because I got to experience a good part of Texas while I was in the bad part of Texas. So it was not a bad part of Texas, but you know what I mean. I was going through something, so I couldn't enjoy it when I was in the hospital as much as I did. It was awesome. I got a cooler. I got some tips from a guy, and he told me like pickles don't expire fast, olives don't expire. So I lived off pickles and olives, and it was weird, but it was all right. It was a lot of fun. I kind of want to go back. So
He lived in the forest for nearly 3 months while he recovered and attended his follow-up doctor's visits in Texas. Despite all the adversity and setbacks Jacob faced, he made it through. He was finally able to return home to his family.
I actually didn't tell him I was coming home because I was supposed to be there another 3 weeks. And a good buddy of mine actually flew down and helped me get home, and I surprised him. It was an awesome day. That's the only way I can explain it. You know what I mean? It had been so long, and I didn't know if I was ever going to see him again. So it was awesome. As of right now, I have a clean bill of health. From beating cancer 2 times, my odds are low. But every day that I make it without cancer coming back, my success rate is doubled. Or I don't know the exact number, but basically every day that I make it without cancer, I have a better chance. So as long as I just keep living and building North America, we'll be good. You know what I mean?
Jacob isn't looking towards the future. He's enjoying every moment he gets right now. When he got home, he came right back to class, completed his OSHA 30 requirement, and became an official 4th-year carpenter apprentice.
He said the union saved my life. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? The union saved your life? He said, if it wasn't for the union, I wouldn't be here. He said, the insurance and things that he's had and that he's gone through, the support that he's kept from his union brothers and sisters that was close to him, that did talk to him when he was away, and the things that they have done for him prior to. He was even mentioning, just that what this program is and what it does, and the outlook for him, even looking through his eyes now, which was near death and no possibility for anything, and seeing how the union has a career, that path that he can follow, and the success that he can gain with being here. He said the apprenticeship, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
I want to be the best young guy that ever lived, and it's very possible. I mean, I got to beat Keith, but I think I can do it. You know what I mean? And I just want to live to be old and happy. And I don't know. I'm not really looking to the future so much because I'm just so happy to be here right now that every single day I'm just so happy to have it. I don't even look to the future. You know what I mean? Every day is a gift. So I just enjoy it. I'm just a little more nervous maybe when it comes to risks, contaminants, dust. I'm just nervous about things, but I should have been just as nervous the whole time. Safety, that's why it's kind of good that I'm appreciative that we have the OSHA class to teach me, because there's a lot of things that I didn't know. You know what I mean? And there's no point in taking unnecessary risks that could end my life prematurely to begin with.
It's an inspiration. It's an inspiration to, again, just stay positive no matter what life throws at you. Because something that I think may suck in my life, and then I look and say, man, he's had it so much worse, and look how well he is handled it. Because if he can overcome what he overcame and still stay so positive, why can't I?
Man, he's here and he is just smiling. He is infectious to everybody around him. Such a great attitude. I love having him around for that reason, because the entire training center being around him has just went from that, oh my God, we're all trapped into this COVID situation right now, to, man, everything's great. The world's fantastic. So glad to be here. We're finishing our class. I mean, that's the atmosphere that he puts off when he's around. It's amazing.
Today, 31-year-old Jacob still has a lot to live for: his family, his brotherhood, and the opportunity to grow old. He will never give up fighting. He has a message for anyone else battling through a difficult time right now.
Stick with it. Stick with it, because it's going to get better. And reach out to brothers, because that's what got me through this, was friendship. I had to stay positive. There was a lot of days where I just felt like I wasn't going to make it. But I just reached out to my friends and I was like, hey guys, what are you up to? I mean, I knew what was going on 20 jobs, and I was 1,000 miles away just because everyone kept me included. And that's important, is, the camaraderie. It just kept my spirits up. My morale was always high. And just reach out to your brother, reach out to your family, just laugh as much as you can, try to watch them stand up, and you'll get through it.
Try to be like Jacob. Just put a smile on and just keep going. Strive to live, because what else do we have?